thousands of people around Australia have marched in solidarity to show support for the Palestinian people. Organisers and protesters are calling for the Australian government to take action against the current attacks taking place in Palestine.
We've seen it happen in history, we've seen it happen in South Africa, we've seen it happen here on our lands, and I don't think we're going to allow this to happen in 2021.
The march went ahead despite the ceasefire announcement by the Israeli government.
We're here today to support them and show them that the world hears you.
I'm outside Parliament Station where crowds have poured in to show their support for Palestine. This has been the second protest so far in Melbourne and all over Australia. We spoke to Palestinian activist Janine Hourani on why these protests are so important.
I've been going to these protests, these pro-Palestine rallies, since I was a kid, and I don't remember having ever seen a turnout that big. We actually had a protest the week before as well that was more of an emergency protest, and this protest that was last week has been planned for months, kind of before the recent events have unfolded in Sheikh Jarrah and in Gaza and in Jerusalem as well. And yeah, they're saying it was the biggest turnout in history in Melbourne, so for pro-Palestine.
Zionist Federation Australia's Public Affairs Director Dr. Brent Carlisle, however, states that the protests are more anti-Israel than they are pro-Palestinian.
4,000 Palestinians have been killed in Syria over the past couple of years, and no one has been marching for the Palestinians killed in Syria. They only come out on the street when Israel's involved. So you have to wonder, are they actually concerned about Palestinian rights, or are they only concerned about Israel? And of course, if you look at their chants, if you look at their slogans, their placards, you'll find that it's all about Israel. They say, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, which is actually a call for Israel's destruction. It's a call for ethnic cleansing.
We also spoke to Dr. Jordana Silverstein, Jewish historian, who is also a part of the Loud Jew Collective, who stand as allies and advocate for Palestinian rights.
It's about working with Palestinians. It's about making clear that not all Jews support Israel or support what the Israeli government does, what the Israeli army does, that there are lots of us who do see the colonial connections between the colonies, so between Australia and Israel. Our connections with Palestinians here are really important to us.
Protests were expected to continue coming Saturday, but will be postponed due to COVID restrictions. This is Zathia Bazir for Hatch McLeod.